Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on the weTHRIVE podcast, where we share stories from entrepreneurs from around the world about how they're creating an impactful legacy. I'm your host, Casey Clark, and the Chief Growth Officer of C. Clark Consulting. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing Jenny Blazek, who owns Blazek Travel. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about you.
So I am an entrepreneur. I'm a mom. I have 2 adult sons. I started in travel about 2 years ago when I had a big medical thing happen and just decided that this was something I'd always been passionate about. And now I'm just really growing and expanding my business.
Okay. Awesome. So I have to ask, what does thriving mean to you? And you mentioned medical, so I'm sure you kind of have a different take on what that looks like.
Yeah, so thriving to me means finding what brings you passion and then just making sure that you have that in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I always was an avid traveler. And now that I do it as a business, I just feel like I've really found a way to thrive in my own life and my own skin and doing what's always been so exciting to me. And now I can introduce that to other people. And also having a well-rounded life in general with your finances, spiritually. I feel like if you can make sure you're touching on all those points in your life, then you'll be thriving.
Yeah, absolutely. Travel definitely helps me in all those areas of my life.
Yes. Gives you an opportunity to relax or focus on something you've been putting off, while you're away. So change of scenery, change of attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. I literally just got back from St. Augustine. I haven't been there in like 16 years or so. And I was like, oh my goodness, I love that place. And I forgot how much I loved it. So it definitely brought back that passion for traveling. I was like, I need to go revisit some places that I enjoyed. So I agree with you 100%.
Definitely.
Awesome. So what obstacles have you faced when you've been trying to thrive in your own life?
So like I said, I had a big medical issue, a big aha moment where at 45, I was diagnosed with colon cancer. But yay me, if you're going to hit the cancer lottery, I actually was stage 1 and it was very treatable and I'm doing great now. I'm thriving. So I would say that was just an opportunity for me to find my focus and just really go with what I wanted to do. And maybe that was the path. And so here I am now. And so that was my big obstacle lately. Everything else seems small.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I love how you said, maybe this is the path. Like that gave me goosebumps because it wasn't like in the way I received that, it wasn't like, oh, this is happening to me. It's more of, being optimistic and what is this doing for me? So
yes,
I love the optimism. Definitely. So what are some of the resources that you used in life, when you were trying to thrive and ones that really stood out that helped you thrive?
Gosh, resources. So I feel like self-care is a really important thing with thriving. And so finding ways, I love to do yoga. I have a friend who owns Homestead Farm. She does outdoor yoga every month. That's a great outlet. Just other resources related to thriving would be having myself in a financial place where I can travel as much as possible. So that means, budgeting, forecasting, setting goals for myself personally and for my business. So those are, resources that I guess I use to keep myself on track. So resources from a travel business perspective, Google Flights is great. And you can also set reminders and track flights. So if you have a bucket list destination you're looking for, that is an amazing resource to kind of say, okay, I know I want to go to London. I want to go to Dublin. I want to go to Dubrovnik. And you can set that up, have it on autopilot, and they'll let you know when the time is right for the air. And then you can kind of build your trip around that. Or I can help you build your trip around that. Even better.
Yes.
So
Love it.
yeah, there's another wonderful resource that I love called Wanderlist. It lets you do research on destinations that you want to go to, and it's a visual plan of your bucket list of all the trips you want to go to. It lets you highlight different things you would do while you were there, things you would see. It's a really great tool to kind of plan out your future and the
Oh,
things you want to do.
wow. I've
Yeah,
never heard of that. And I'm a very visual person.
yeah, it's great. It's called Wanderlist. It's kind of like Pinterest, but for your travel bucket list.
Okay. I
Hmm.
love that.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Love it. Okay. So, my favorite question for those I'm podcasting with, what does the word legacy mean to you, and how are you creating one?
So, legacy to me means a couple of different things. And again, I kind of always go back to financial and family. And so, I would say I want to instill in my children a passion for travel.
Hmm.
So, my legacy is to make sure they're doing things that continue to challenge them and excite them, seeing live music, live events, and just being out in the world. And I think that is the legacy I want to leave for them and really for everybody, you
Yeah,
know.
those experiences.
Yeah. Down with stuff, up with experiences and going out, seeing things, doing things, art, live music, live theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. So I have to ask, where's your favorite place to travel? Do you have just one?
So, Alaska and Hawaii are both very amazing places in the United States that I love and always recommend. I just love Italy. I just love Italy so much, and there's so much more of it that I want to see. So that is a place that I love the food, the culture, the history. I
Yeah.
just, I think that's probably my most recent, infatuation is Italy.
Yeah, I'm a foodie, so it's
Yes,
definitely on my bucket list. I had
same.
yeah, I had a client who had a sommelier come from Italy for like a wine dinner that they're doing, and they had a company cater Italian food. It was the first time I had ever had olive oil bread, and it was the best bread I've
Best
ever
thing
had.
ever. Yes.
And I'm not even like a big bread person, but I was like, oh yeah, I could eat this every day and I would be like 600 pounds.
I have been chasing this recipe that I had while I was in Rome. And so I just made it yesterday. And it's aranciana, I think is how you pronounce it. Probably not, but it's pasta with guanciale, which is smoked pork cheeks, is
Okay.
the meat in it. It's very salty, almost like bacon. So I'm chasing this recipe to try and recreate what I had eaten. It was delicious, but not quite there yet. I might have to go back to Rome and taste it again.
I mean, why not?
Right.
What is one place that you've been wanting to go that you haven't gotten to yet?
So that would be Ireland.
Okay.
So I am Irish. We recently did our ancestry, and then a few more people in my lineage must have gone on and done their own ancestry. Then I switched from being predominantly Irish to Scottish. So that was a big shocker when I looked. I was like, what's happening? But
Wow.
Ireland is number one on my list. My children really want to go to Iceland, so I'd like to combine those and do them together.
Yeah.
Dying to go to Dublin, dying to taste Guinness from the Mother Tap. So those are on the list of places we really want to get to.
Awesome. I love it. So if you could give anyone any nuggets who's, just surviving right now, but they're really looking to thrive, what nugget or nuggets would you give them?
I think I kind of go back to um, finding how to take care of yourself, and that is different for everybody.
Mhm.
Looking at the different areas of your life and seeing where you feel like you might be ignoring or deficient or not bringing joy into, whether it be your personal life, your business, your day-to-day activities. I think it's just about finding joy in the small things and then planning and working towards the big things. If it's for me, the traveling, about planning and saving and making those dreams come true that bring me joy. So whatever brings you joy, I feel like is what you need to be working towards.
I love it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with our listeners today?
No, I think you really talked about so many different things. I think using a travel professional is a great way to really maximize your experience. Somebody with experience, they also offer amenities, and just having that as an option is really the best way to get, the best experience with your travel. So that would be my takeaway.
Yeah, I always say you don't know what you don't know. And with travel, like you're going to different countries in a lot of cases, like you really don't know what you don't know.
And it's nice to have support, from the beginning till you're home of your trip. So using a travel professional is really and insurance. I do highly recommend having travel insurance.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Awesome. So good. Well, thank you so much for sharing your tips with us today. It's definitely been great talking to you. And now I'm ready to go book another trip.
I know.
So, Greece is on my bucket list soon.
Yes.
A river cruise. That would be amazing. So we'll see.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, we'll see. So, all right. Well, I'd also like to thank our music sponsor, Stephen Lamar Moore, who created the music for our podcast. And thank you again for joining us today, Jenny. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.